Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Shawnee Mack with your daily comedy news. I'm continuing to pay close attention to comedy's biggest story. Natasha Leggero was asked by a cameraman about taking her shirt off during her comedy set the other day. The cameraman told Natasha people were shocked by her show, to which she replied, "Is it because I have such huge breasts?" I cleaned that up a little bit. Most comedians don't want to go shirtless, other than obviously Bert Kreischer, but she was trying to tell an important message to the crowd. She said, "I was trying to make a point." Natasha's husband, Moshe Kasher, a fantastic comedian, joked, "Yeah, she's not feeling her husband." It's a bigger story, actually. I will continue to monitor that for any developments whatsoever. The Oscars announced their nominees. Nothing real comedy to tell you about. Jimmy Kimmel will be your host March 10th. Oppenheimer, 13 nominations. Poor Things, 11. Killers of the Flower Moon, 10. Barbie with 8. But the Razzies were announced. The nominees for Worst Picture of the Year: Expendables, The Exorcist Believer, Meg 2: The Trench, described as a fishy tale about a snarky shark that flopped across all 7 seas, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey. PJ Star, that's a website, was paying attention to Shane Gillis, who recently played the Peoria Civic Center. It was quite cold there. On Shane's podcast, he said, "I was in Peoria, Illinois. New #1 on the power rankings of expletive town in the entire country. Peoria, Illinois that was hell, dude." Gillis said because of the weather, he had to arrive a day early and had nothing to do. Just me and the bums were the only ones walking around outside. -4 in Peoria sucks. Apparently, a lot of people didn't make the show. 2 inches of snow fell the night of his performance, adding to the 8 inches already on the ground. After the show, Shane and his entourage walked around to Jim's Steakhouse. Jim's Facebook page posted, "Jim's had the pleasure of hosting the comedian." Restaurant manager Kristen Comfort said Shane and his party arrived after the second show and enjoyed a leisurely meal, taking time to photos taken with staff members. She said the comedian was very kind, very polite, and we enjoyed having him. Shane said he was pleased that Peoria had a restaurant like Jim's. Longtime listeners know that I'm now curious about the menu there, so let's look. Fancy-looking place there, Shane Gillis. Whoa. I'm not dressed right for this. Appetizers include shrimp cocktail, shrimp Dijon, avocado bruschetta, steak bruschetta, oysters half-shell, oysters Rockefeller, and calamari. Several steaks, kebab skewers, poultry, pasta, salads. Entrees include your choice of baked potato, rice, oregano, or green beans. And you know it's a fancy place because they don't have the prices on the menu. Get back to the comedy, John. Okay. You understand all the entertainment websites. We're talking about the Oscars, right? They're making a movie about the creation of Saturday Night Live. According to Deadline, Gabriel LaBelle, you may know him from The Fabelmans, he's going to play Lorne Michaels in Jason Reitman's upcoming film SNL 1975. Based on a series of interviews conducted with all the remaining living members of the cast, crew, and writer's room, the film will tell the story of the first ever episode on October 11th, 1975, from its conception to the precious minutes leading up to Chevy Chase's inaugural Live from New York, It's Saturday Night. Cooper Hoffman will play Dick Ebersol. Rachel Sennott, she's having a bit of a moment, is playing Rosie Schuster. Ebersol was NBC's vice president of late night. Schuster was a writer on the show who was married to Lorne Michaels from 1971 to 1980. She also dated Dan Aykroyd around the same time. Wait, what? It is pointed out the actors are much younger than the characters they're playing. Lorne Michaels was 31 when SNL premiered. LaBelle is 21. In 1975, Ebersol was 28. Hoffman is 20. That's all weird. Rachel Sennott is 28. Her character Schuster was 25. All weird. Kenya Barris is working on the biopic of Richard Pryor, but it's no longer a biopic. It is now a 10-part limited biographical series that takes a look from cradle to grave, says Kenya. Following his earliest upbringing, he grew up in a house of ill repute and became at one point the biggest star in the world. It's my baby. I love it. He's my comedy god, a super flawed guy, but with everything to this day, the comedy that we remember, even including Dave Chappelle, is derivative of what he started. I'll jump in there. That is so true. You can absolutely draw a line from Dave all the way back to Pryor, and Eddie Murphy's comedy is a complete lift. Kenya said, that honest, reflecting, observational look at what the world is and the differences between us that actually make us more similar than we are apart. Telling his story and letting people see things that they didn't know about him is something that I'm super excited to bring to life. No idea yet who will play Richard Pryor. Mike Epps has long expressed his desire to play Richard Pryor, and he did get to play Richard Pryor on the HBO series Winning Time. Now, if you remember that show from a few years back called I'm Dying Up Here, it was about comedians in Los Angeles in the 70s. Andrew Santino was fantastic on that. They had Richard Pryor, played by Brandon Ford Green, and I thought Brandon did a fantastic job as Richard Pryor. As for Mike Epps, he'll have a new special on Netflix on February 20th. It's his fourth special for Netflix. This one is called Ready to Sell Out. In it, he ponders where all of his money has gone in spite of a thriving career. There are also upcoming specials on Netflix. Jack Whitehall's Settle Down on January 30th, and Taylor Tomlinson's Have It All February 13th. Golf News caught up with Steve Harvey. I don't believe they asked Steve about Cat Williams. I'm not seeing the words Cat nor Williams in the article. They did ask about Joe Coy, and Steve said, Joe Coy is brilliant. He was outstanding at the Golden Globes. Hollywood are the most arrogant, pompous people in the world sitting there. It's all about them. They want to win. They want the spotlight on them. You can't entertain celebrities. Hosting for Hollywood award ceremonies is the worst gig in the world. You're sitting there with a bunch of I mean, it's all about me, and people have been clapping for them wherever they go. Now, all of a sudden, they're your audience. Horrible audience. I've seen this guy, Joe Coy. He's hands down one of the funniest people in the world today. I saw the Golden Globes thing, and I knew what he was doing, but they weren't going to get it because they're not going to laugh at themselves. They are celebrities. Couple quick plugs if you want to follow the election cycle. We've got a new podcast called Ballot, B-A-L-L-O-T, wherever you get your shows. If the trivia guys are listening, I can't make it tonight. I have to be on an industry panel. I actually have to be an adult tonight, so have fun without me, trivia guys. On Gossip Corner, I'm not going to do this item yet because I haven't seen it from a major publication, but if you were to Google the words Kevin Hart restraining order against, it would turn up results. I'll keep an eye on that story, and when I feel like I can go with it, I'll go with it. But those are words you could Google. Meanwhile, on Gossip Corner, Kate Berlant had a big-time crowd on Sunday night at the Pasadena Playhouse. It was opening night of her one-woman play, Kate. Some of the people who attended, Olivia Wilde, Brie Larson, Billy Eichner, Molly Shannon, John C. Reilly, Kumail Nanjiani, Emily Gordon, Vanessa Bayer, Bob Odenkirk, Chelsea Peretti, and Natasha Leggero. In the play, Kate explores the events of her life that have brought her to this moment, embodying many characters in this tour de force performance. She expertly morphs before our eyes and exposes a truth she has until now kept hidden. The show's running through February 11th. From Variety, Hannah Berner, one of Variety's 10 comics to watch. She's going to record her first comedy special for Netflix. It'll be taped in Philadelphia at the Fillmore on March 23rd. Berner tells Variety, this is probably the coolest thing that has ever happened to me. I'm in love with the hour that I've been touring with for a while now, and I'm honored that Netflix wants to showcase my silly bits. I'm excited for my stand-up to reach a larger audience and to celebrate the community of badass women and scared boyfriends, mothers, and zaddies that got me to this point. Why the Fillmore? She says, I remember the Fillmore being beautiful, and the laughter was amazing, the crowds were passionate, smart, loud, and know how to have a good time. Rick and Morty news, it won't return for Season 8 until 2025. How come? There was that writer strike, and it delayed production. However, we're getting Rick and Morty the anime. There's a trailer. I watched it. I would share it with you, but it's in Japanese, and I'm going to guess you don't speak Japanese. If you do speak Japanese, please yell at me in the Facebook group, Daily Comedy News Podcast group, and be like, yo, I speak Japanese. Don't profile me. Anyway, I read the phrase Rick and Morty the anime and wanted to hate, and then I watched it, and I went, oh, okay, this is going to be a lot of fun. The anime is 10 episodes. It stands on its own as an original work. At SketchFest tonight, canceled. Emily Wilson's Fixed. I wonder why it was canceled. Nuts canceled. Kids in the Hall, scenes they wouldn't let us do. And a different show, Talking Simpsons. Out of those, I would pick Kids in the Hall, scenes they wouldn't let us do. Things pick back up tomorrow with a whole bunch of shows, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. If you enjoy the program, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. I'll take your money, and I won't do anything with it tonight. I got to be on that big-time industry panel, huh? Or if you want to use the Fountain app, you can throw some sats my way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, read the show notes. All right, see you tomorrow.